Don't settle for bad socks. Get comfort and grip at an affordable price with Pure Grip Socks Pro. Choose from 18 different colors at puregripsocks.com.
Before we get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone for all of their support over the years. Over the weekend, the SR4U channel hit 800,000 subscribers. It's a crazy milestone, honestly something that I would have never imagined to have happened. And it's all thanks to you. Honestly, it means the world to me, so I wanted to say a gigantic thank you to all of you, and of course, more to come. All right, send them down. Sometimes it just takes a color to make a pair of football boots memorable, and sometimes it takes two colors to make them iconic. Where you might look at this boot and say to yourself, that's a pretty good looking colorway, but reunited with its other half, and you have a pair of football boots that you might remember from the 2014 World Cup, introducing the Puma Ultra Ultimate as part of the 2023 remake Tricks Pack. This pair retailing for $250, which is a $30 premium over a regular Ultra, but for this mismatched colorway, it just might be worth it. With the Puma Tricks Pack also including the Future Ultimate, where you can see here in neon yellow with a pink accent and a black detail at the heel. It's a pretty cool looking football boot, but reunited with its other half, and you have that mismatched look that you might remember from the 2016 Euro. However, unlike the Ultra Ultimate, the Future Ultimate does not bear a premium on the retail price despite being limited edition. These will run you the normal $220. And being that these are special edition football boots, there's going to be plenty of people picking them up for the sake of being collector's items. But if you are in fact interested in either the Future or the Ultra and a fan of these Tricks remake colorways, I'm going to help you decide which of these two might be best for you depending on fit, feel, and personal preference characteristics. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around, and if you are interested in either of these boots for yourself, you can pick them up below their normal retail prices by way of exclusive SR4U coupon codes by checking out the links down below. And as always, if you enjoy the brutally honest content on this channel, don't forget to drop a like on the video and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already so you don't miss out on my reviews of all the latest football boots of 2023. Now, if you just listen to what Puma has to say about these two products, they'll tell you that the Ultra is the ultimate football boot if you just want to be as fast as possible. It is their speed boot representative, where the Future Ultimate has a little bit more of a confusing marketing scheme in that it falls into the control category, but it's also marketed as an agility boot, and what's the point of being agile if you're not also fast? Neymar also happens to wear them, at least he is paid big money to wear them, so there's that aspect of the Future as well, where again, it kind of falls into the speed category in a lot of ways, even though I wouldn't say it's necessarily a speed boot. But what I will say is this: if you want something thin and light, the Ultra Ultimate would definitely be the better choice, or if you prefer something that has a little bit more of a soft, padded, sock-like sensation, you're getting more of that from the Future. Puma marketing aside, I do think that one of these football boots is substantially better than the other, and that is the Future Ultimate. I think it's a more comfortable football boot. I think it fits better. I think in comparison to anything else that kind of falls into the same category, which as of right now, I'm not exactly sure what that is outside of maybe the New Balance Tequila, but that's a laceless football boot, so it's not necessarily the best comparison. But what you're gonna find with the Future Ultimate is that it does trend towards this mesh-based synthetic upper with a padded layer on the inside. So from a touch perspective, they're definitely thin, but it's not necessarily a barefoot feel that you're going to get from something in the speed category. There's also some micro texturing on the surface, which does add an element of grip. But I guess if you wanted to compare this to other control boots, if you will, something like the Phantom GX or the Adidas Predator Accuracy are both going to provide substantially more grip than what's on offer from the Future Ultimate. This to me just feels like a classic sock boot with, of course, a mid-cut collar that's also available in a low-cut variation that's almost exactly the same. Not sure what the point of that one is. Where the Ultra Ultimate is thinner, lighter, obviously more raw in terms of overall feel, and overall a very good pair of football boots, but I think the issue becomes, especially in this colorway at $250, is that there are just better options out there. mainly in the Nike Mercurial Vapor 15 Elite at the exact same price. Obviously, if you go for a regular colorway of the Ultra Ultimate, they are $30 less expensive. And if you go for an older colorway of this boot, you can get them for around $100. And for that amount of money, I definitely think it's a really solid buy. But if we're talking about full retail, kind of stacking it up against the competition, I'd have the Mercurials over this, and I would definitely have the New Balance Furon V7 Pro over these as well. I think that would probably be the better comparison in terms of being a little bit lighter, having an upper that maybe isn't quite as raw as this, but it does feel significantly more comfortable on foot while still maintaining a thin feel. I think the overall shaping is better. I think the comfort through the heel is better. And there's an argument to be made that the sole plate and stud pattern is more aggressive on the New Balance boots as well. Again, the Ultra Ultimate is not a bad pair of football boots, but in comparison to all the other speed boot options right now, I'm not sure that objectively it's near the top. When it comes to sole plates and stud patterns, I think when you see these two side by side, they're actually pretty similar to each other. And while I definitely think the sole plate of the Ultras does feel that little bit more speed boot-like in terms of just being thinner and maybe a little bit more responsive in terms of giving you that kind of fling back effect, more so than what you find from the Futures, I wouldn't say that that characteristic about the Ultra is realistically a standout in the speed category. And then as far as the stud patterns is concerned, they are virtually the exact same layout, and despite technically being the agility boot, I'd actually make the argument that especially through the forefoot, the studs on the FG-AG stud pattern of the Future are a little bit more aggressive than what you're going to find from the Ultras. So realistically, I don't think there's that much of a difference in this area between these two models, despite them being marketed and kind of presented as very different products. When it comes to weight, there's a pretty significant difference between these two, both in the same size 9.5 US. We'll start off with the Future Ultimate, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.35 ounces, the equivalent of 237 grams, kind of putting it on the heavier end of what you're going to find from most top-end models these days, but certainly not a pair of boots that feel heavy on your feet. And then the Ultra Ultimate weigh in at 6.8 ounces, the equivalent of 193 grams, which does make them on the lighter end of things. However, if we compare it to previous generations of Puma Ultra, they have increased in weight quite significantly and have kind of lost that super lightweight magic that, in my opinion, past Ultra models used to have. So despite these being lighter, I just think that the Future ultimately fits and feels better on feet, where a little bit of extra weight, at least for me, doesn't end up mattering. Now, when it comes to fit and feel on feet, it must be understood that comfort is such a subjective category. In other words, everyone has their own personal preferences and likes the specific feel of one boot over another for whatever reason. In my opinion, and based on my own personal preferences, when I put on the Ultra Ultimate, my general impression is that they feel a little bit stiff, a little bit rigid, and in general, not particularly comfortable compared to most other top-end football boots out there. If I had to make another comparison in the speed category right now, it probably most closely relates to something like the Adidas X Speed Portal in terms of having that kind of stiffer, almost plasticky feel to the upper. And that's not to say that they are uncomfortable, but I definitely think there are more comfortable football boots out there, especially in the speed category, mainly in the Nike Mercurial series, definitely from the Mizuno Alpha as well as the New Balance Furon. I think all of those would be better speed boot options from a comfort standpoint based on my preferences in regards to comfort. I also find that the heel is a little bit shallower than I would personally like it to be, but overall, the boots still wrap your foot very closely. They feel secure. They feel responsive on your feet. They feel good underfoot as far as the sole plate is concerned. It's just a matter of whether or not you like that stiffer feel to the upper while also being super, super thin. From a width perspective, I would say that they have a decent amount of width to them to the point where they will work for most people as long as you don't have excessively wide feet. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing these in my usual size 9.5 US, and the fit and the length is perfect. So if you are looking to get a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size. Where in contrast, I think that the Future Ultimate is genuinely one of the more comfortable football boots currently on the market. The upper is soft, it's sock-like, they wrap your foot in such a way that doesn't feel excessively tight. There's more depth to the heel. They're very comfortable pretty much all the way through. The lacing system allows for a nice secure fit, and in general, there just isn't much to complain about in regards to the overall comfort of the product. And for me, comfort in a pair of football boots is pretty much everything. If you can't get that right, then almost nothing else matters. But again, personal preference plays a huge role here. If you like that stiffer, firmer feel to a pair of football boots, you might prefer the Ultras over the Futures, so definitely take that into consideration. From a width perspective, these definitely have a wider fit all the way through and certainly more volume when compared to the Ultras, so for a wider foot type in particular, this is definitely going to be better, but that's not to say that these won't work for pretty much all foot types. And as far as sizing is concerned, these do run a little bit longer. I would say just about a quarter size, maybe slightly less than that, but I'm still wearing them in my usual size 9.5 US. And for most people, going true to size is probably the way to go. The only situation where I would recommend going down half a size is if the boots you're wearing already are currently a little bit too big. As long as that's not the case, true to size should work out for most people. So in conclusion, to give my brutally honest opinion on these two boots, the Future Ultimate is a pair of football boots that you buy if you're looking for something that has that simple, sock-like, comfortable sensation on feet, where the Puma Ultra Ultimate is a pair of football boots that you buy if they're deeply discounted. And again, that is not to say that I think these are bad football boots, because they're not, but in comparison to past Ultra models, I definitely think they're a step back, and in comparison to other options in the speed category right now, I just don't think these are anywhere near the top. Where the Future, despite its very gimmicky power tape zigzag technology that they're kind of promoting as an actual performance feature that in fact does absolutely nothing, as an overall product, especially if you've been wearing the Puma Future line for the last several generations, it's kind of a simplified take on that. And from a refinement standpoint, I think the fit and comfort is pretty much as good as it's ever been. So again, not really a standout in any one category compared to other options out there right now, but if you're into simplicity and comfort, I think the Future Ultimate is a really solid pair of boots.